My journey with Bambi the Reckoning began in a whirlwind of confusion when I unexpectedly stumbled upon its trailer thanks to a quirky recommendation from YouTube's algorithm. At first, I dismissed it as nothing more than a cheap knockoff, a fraud of sorts that somehow managed to infiltrate the mainstream. But when I discovered it was part of the Twisted Childhood Universe, or TCU, that initial skepticism morphed into a sinking feeling of disappointment, which only deepened as I forced myself to sit through the film. The film's dismal box office figures, barely over $200,000 against a hefty $325,000 budget, offered a small bittersweet comfort amidst the wreckage of this cinematic misadventure. This horror reimagining of Felix Salten's 1923 novel Bambi, A Life in the Woods, was a sadly wasted opportunity. What could have blossomed into a poignant exploration of nature's beauty and brutality instead crumbled into a bland creature feature stripped of any real depth or originality. The real struggle of enduring this film lay in its complete inability to forge any emotional connections. Consider the moment when Bambi's mother is tragically shot by hunters, a scene that should strike a chord as the movie's emotional core, but instead feels hollow and forgettable, leaving little reason for the audience to invest in her fate or her son's quest for vengeance. The thematic aspirations to delve into environmental trauma and cycles of violence offer an interesting premise, yet they come across with all the finesse of a sledgehammer buried under mountains of melodramatic dialogue and gory, yet strangely uninspired kill scenes. The characterizations are another major misstep. Xana, meant to be a fierce maternal figure, ends up as a tired cliché, her unwavering determination the only trait that sets her apart. Her son Benti is relegated to a passive plot device, while the supporting cast of obnoxious friends and greedy hunters exists merely as targets for increasingly ridiculous deaths. At no point did I feel emotionally invested in their destinies, which is a telling indictment of the film's lack of engagement. From a technical standpoint, the film is a mixed bag of mediocrity. Yes, some practical effects featuring the grotesquely transformed Bambi managed to send a chill down the spine in quick, dark cuts, but an over-reliance on subpar CGI in broader shots shatters any sense of authenticity. The cinematography relies too heavily on murky lighting, seeming less an atmospheric choice and more a way to hide glaring shortcomings. If you're a fan of the TCU, I commend your enthusiasm. However, this particular cinematic universe has never resonated with me. You can browse my more detailed takes on other entries in the series in the pinned comments or at the end of this video. What truly fuels my frustration is the unsettling prospect that more films are allegedly in development, hinting at a franchise that values quantity over quality. A more thoughtful approach could have salvaged a concept brimming with potential, focusing on authentic psychological horror through Benji's eyes or crafting a nuanced allegory that highlights nature's revenge could have yielded a far more compelling narrative than the flaccid offering we ended up with. In the end, Bambi the Reckoning transcends the label of just a bad movie. It stands as a disheartening reflection of a troubling trend where beloved intellectual properties are repackaged into low-effort horror flicks stripped of heart and craftsmanship. I urge viewers to be discerning with their choices and to resist financially backing content that disregards its source material and its audience. Here's hoping that one day studios might redirect their energies toward original, well-crafted storytelling that genuinely respects the artistry of filmmaking. That's my opinion on Bambi the Reckoning. Do you agree with my thoughts? What are your thoughts on the film? Let me know in the comments. Please drop a like and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in the next video.
Never save me if my walls came down. Head is underwater, you would let me drown. Watching as I suffocate. Darling, pull the trigger, honey, steal my crown. Choke me till I black out, put your hands around. Hurt out